All right, let's deal with some few definitions in here. First of all, on how to distinguish between a data and a variable. Okay, so here it is. This one in here is a group of selected countries. Okay, and information or details regarding what? Such variables like what? What kind of government or type of government they are being run by or of, right? The life expectancy and the population. Okay, so there we go. So let's consider in here which one are variables and which one are or is a data, right? Let us see the annotation. There we go. So let's see first, what is a variable and what is a data? So let's read in here. It says in here that the variables are what? Characteristics of the individual, right? So that's the variables. And the data are the what? The specific values of the variables, right? Good. So the variables are the characteristics, and the data are actually the what? The inputs or the values for such variables. Good? Get it? So we can say that in terms of like a Venn diagram, right? If this is the set of variables, inside it are the data, right? For each of the variables, right? So in here, can you give us a type of, can you give us an example of a variable in here? Anyone who can give us a type of a variable? Boys and girls. Well, no. I mean, yeah, we can talk about that one. It actually depends. When you talk about boys and girls, or say gender preference, or something like that, it can be taken as a data or a variable depending on the use, right? So if you talk about boys and girls as a gender preference, then it is a variable, right? But you're talking about boys and or girls, right? Or a mix of, you know, or something on that spectrum, right? Then that is called a data, right? Because that can be an input as well. So again, it depends on the use, right? But talking about this table, right? But that's a good, you know, example or question in there as well, right? So again, we can say that it depends on the use as well, right? So in this case, can you give me a variable from this table?
The country.
The
country.
The country, right? Are you talking about these countries, or are you talking about the word country? Tree.
Those countries.
The word, the countries in here are called what? That is a data, right? Because that's the input of each of the countries. Are we cool? What is the variable then?
Country.
The country itself, right? So this is the variable. Are we cool? Got it? Okay. Can you give me another example of a variable, right? Or a characteristic? Yes.
Types of food.
Yes, types of food, right? That's correct, right? But in here, on this table, can you give us a variable? Type of government, right? So that's a variable as well.
Okay.
Can you give us one data regarding type of government?
Presidential republic.
Presidential republic. All right. Senegal. And that is, how do you say it? Senegal?
Senegal, yeah.
Senegal. All right. There we go. Are we cool? Right. So again, a variable will be those, and those are the input of the data. Are we good? All right. Okay. Questions regarding that. Cool. So let's go back now to, well, let's go down now to, well, the different types or the different levels of measurement, all right? So let's deal with this and see how we can work on this one, okay? Let me just go ahead and exit out. I think I can move this one in here. There we go. Much better. Exit out. Okay. Let's see now the keywords for each of them, right? So when you say nominal level of measurement, what's the keyword for such? Nominal level of measurement. Annotate. So let's highlight those. So when you say nominal, what's a keyword that you can think of regarding that definition?
Normal.
Right? So it can be what? A name, a label, or a category. We cool? Right? Can you give us an example of a nominal level of measurement? A variable that has a nominal level of measurement. That can be, that data input for such can be a name, a label, or a category.
Color.
Color. Very good. Thank you. That is correct. Very good, Andrew. Yeah. Hair color, eye color, what else?
Like dog breed.
Dog breed as well, right? Whether that be
Tiny
like
dog,
cute dog,
small
like Chihuahua, right? A pure breed or a mix or whatever kind of long-haired, short-haired Chihuahua, right? Okay, so there we go. Very good, that is correct. What about ordinal level of measurement? So we talk about ordinal level of measurement. Oops. Big, right? Ordinal level of measurement. What's the keyword for such? When you say ordinal.
Very specific.
Right, so it has to be there's kind of like a ranking or a specific order. Are we cool? Like what? Rare, seldom, frequent, always. We cool? Right? Okay, so there's no number assigned to that, but you can imagine, right, the difference between, just pretty kind of vague, right? Imagine the difference between that. Rare, seldom, frequent, always. Right? Cool. Right. So can you think of something that you do always? Anyone?
Breed.
Huh?
Breed.
Breathe. Okay. I think every single minute, I guess, or not minute, second, right? There we go.
Yeah.
What is one thing that you do rare? Rare. For me, it's vacation. Kind of rare, right? Because it has to have certain factors in there, right? Like you have your leave days, you have your resources, you have your money, you have someone to go with and stuff, right? Not unless you want to do your own solo trip, which is pretty cool as well, right? We good? Right. And not unless you have all the time in the world and all the money in the world, and that's what you want, definitely, okay? What else? What's interval level of measurement? So when you say interval level of measurement, what keyword can you see in there?
Differences in the values have meaning.
Very good, thank you, right? So you can add or subtract values and they have what? Meaning, right? What else? That these are what? Yeah, that's also has a meaning in there, right? That the value of 0 doesn't mean that there's nothing there. Are we good? Right? So again, a 0 means, a 0 doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Get it? Okay, and sometimes we can say that interval level of measurement are those that have what? Well, you can add and subtract as well, right? And that does mean something. Cool, right? Next one, what do you mean the level, a ratio level of measurement? Let's call it the green, right? So what's the difference between an interval and a ratio level of measurement? Well, let's read this one in here and see what the keyword is for such. Anyone who can see what the
A value of 0 means the absence of the quantity.
correct, right? When you say 0, that means there's nothing in there, right? That's correct. So that's one of the difference between the interval and the ratio of level of measurement. And also that what? That ratios, meaning decimals, fractions, mean something. All right. Okay, so it's the only difference between the interval and ratio level of measurement. Yes, they're both numbers, but the ratio level of measurement, the decimal, the fraction, has a meaning, and 0 means nothing. I mean, 0 means there's nothing of that variable. Are we cool? Right, with that one. So let's talk about these in here, determining the levels of measurement of a variable, all right? So for each of the following variables, determine if they're nominal, ordinal, interval, or ratio, right? Let's talk about what? Gender. What kind of variable is gender? Is this nominal, ordinal, interval, or ratio, right? Let's call them by code, right? So let's call this what? N, nominal, O, ordinal, I, interval, or R, ratio. Gender. Nominal. Very good, right? So gender is nominal, right? There's no ranking or specific order, right? It's also not a number, right? So that's nominal. Okay, next, temperature.
Interval, I think no.
Ratio. Right, so this is ratio, right? Like say what? What is the temperature right now? 28 degrees, right? Right. But it can be like what? Like say approximately 28.5 degrees. Right? So the decimal equivalent, like when you say 28.5, we know that it's midway between 28 and 29 degrees. Are we good? Right? So yes, it is a ratio level of measurement. Are we good? Okay. Next one. Days. Number of days during the past week that a college student studied.
Ordinal.
Number of days during the past week that a college student studied. Is it a number or is it a characteristic? Now, if it's a number, can it be a fraction or can it not be a fraction, right? So what can you say? Letter C? Interval. There, right? Because when you say number of days, when you have studied, for example, 3 days, right? Or you have studied for 2 days, right? Or you just studied for 1 day, right? We get, right? So that means that's interval. And the last one, letter grade earned in your statistics class. Letter grade earned in statistics class. Ooh. Ordinal. Very good, right? So why is that ordinal? Because there's a ranking, right? Good. Yes, they are letters, they're not numbers, but they stand for something. When you say A, meaning what? Exceptional, right? Okay. B, right? What does it mean? Right? C, D. Let's not mention the other stuff. Are we good? Questions, guys, with that one. All right, so let's see some keywords in here for you to use, right? So what's the keyword for variable? It is a what? A characteristic, right? Or a attribute, right? Data, that is the what?
Specific values.
The input values, right? When you say input values, can be numeric or non-numeric, right? Can be, you know, brown, white, no, seldom, rare, right? A, right? Or as we said a while ago, 18 degrees Fahrenheit. Is it 18? Did I say 18? 28, sorry, 28, right? Nominal variable, what's the keyword for nominal? We said what? Did we go back?
Name category.
Yeah, there we go. Name or label, right? Name or label. Good. Ordinal. What's this? Ranked. Right? Okay. So it's like A, B, C, D. Rare, seldom. What did I say? Often, right? Always. Right? There we go. Interval. Right? Interval is what? Numeric. Right? Okay. Integer. And the last one, ratio or variable. This is also numeric or what we call quantitative, right? Okay. What is this? Okay. Can be decimal or fraction. good. Right. Questions regarding that one, guys?